Hello, guys. Good evening to you, and sorry to be late. I've been having some difficulties with the connection, and that's why I'm about 8 minutes late. Technology, it normally happens. So let's begin. So, once again, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Andre, and I'm from a small island called Barbados in the Caribbean, very small island. But now I'm living in Rome. So, in today's focus activity, we're looking at business, of course, but we're looking specifically at hospitality. So, it's hospitality English 6 to 7 on the floor. So, we're on the floor of the restaurant, meaning we're among the tables, among the guests, we're walking around. So, normally, those employees in a restaurant that are on a floor are waiters and waitresses, the people who serve the customers. So normally these are the employees that are on the floor. So on the floor means in the restaurant among the guests, serving the guests, making sure everything is okay in the front. Good. So let's begin. So we've got this is us. In this hospitality activity, atmosphere vocabulary, phrases to ask and give opinions, and advice. Cool. So, what is atmosphere in this situation? Well, atmosphere is the ambience, which is the environment of the restaurant. The lighting, the decor, the smell, the feeling. Yeah, all of those are included in the atmosphere of the restaurant. Good. Excellent. But yeah. So let's begin. So it's all about the ambience. Yeah. So the ambience, the environment, the atmosphere. So let's look at question number one. Now, what do you think creates a great atmosphere? Number two, can you think of different types of restaurants? Number three, what type of restaurant is yours? What type of ambiance does it offer? What do you think your customers appreciate the most about it? So for people who own restaurants, for people who are in the restaurant business, this is more specifically for you. So number one, what do you think creates a great atmosphere in a restaurant? So there could be many things that create a good atmosphere or ambiance or environment. So all of these are synonyms that mean the same thing. It means the environment, the atmosphere, the ambiance. So what do you think creates a great atmosphere? Well, in my opinion, what creates a great atmosphere is the decor, the lighting, yeah, the how should I say, of course, the smell. Because if you go into a restaurant, you don't want to smell something disgusting or terrible. You want to smell good smells. You want it to smell like a restaurant. You want to smell the foods, the different aromas, the different spices, different ingredients. So smell is very important as well. So we've got smell, we've got lighting, we've got the decor, we've got the service as well. The service of a restaurant makes the atmosphere more comfortable. If there's good service, if you're being served well, then all of that encourages or influences how you feel about the restaurant. If you feel comfortable or if you feel uncomfortable. Okay, so those are just a couple things that create a great atmosphere. Sometimes even music. Music can create a very nice atmosphere and maybe not something that's too loud, not music that's too loud or too fast. Maybe something very soothing, something very soft and slow can bring a very nice atmosphere to a restaurant. Now, let's look at question number two. So, can you think of different types of restaurants? Well, there are quite a few types of restaurants. And if you can think about it, Italy has so many different types of restaurant, many different types of Italian restaurants. But of course, not only Italian restaurants, but cuisine from all over the world. So, of course, Italy is known as like the food capital of the world, basically. So everybody wants to do something here. Everybody wants to open a restaurant here. So there are many different types of restaurants, though. So, for example, there are Italian restaurants, there are Chinese, there are Japanese restaurants, there are how should I say, many different types of countries that represent restaurants here, not only Italy, but others as well. Malaysian restaurants as well. I've It's been hard for me to come across a Caribbean restaurant because I'm from the Caribbean, but I can't find any Caribbean restaurants here. So it's very difficult to find Caribbean restaurants in certain parts of the world. But we do have very good cuisine as well. But of course, we're a smaller region, a smaller island, group of islands. So we're not as big as the European countries or the Asian countries. So, we won't find our type of restaurants a lot in Europe that much. Maybe in the UK, you'll find Jamaican restaurants and some Caribbean restaurants. So here in Italy, you'll find many types of cuisine or restaurants serving different types of cuisine. So international restaurants that serve different types of cuisine from all over the world. Now, what other types of restaurant, more specifically, there are? There are, for example, casual dining restaurants. There are formal dining restaurant. So some restaurants are more formal, more the dress code is different. You have to wear a suit and tie. It's more sophisticated. While the more casual dining restaurants would be like burger restaurants. You go to eat burger and fries. You dress casually. It doesn't matter how you dress. So there are different restaurants in terms of formal and casual dining restaurants. There are also some restaurants that have like themes. So they're themed restaurants. Maybe, for example, it's how should Asian themed restaurant, or maybe an Italian themed restaurant. So it has different themes. So meaning the decor, the food has a particular origin or a theme associated with it. So yeah, so in many parts of the world, there are many Italian themed restaurants. They're not really authentic Italian restaurants, but they use the Italian brand and the Italian culture and image to invite or to create that level of interest into their restaurant. But a lot of times their food aren't very good. Their food isn't very good. So these are different types of restaurants. Now let's look at number three. What type of restaurant is yours? So for those who own a restaurant or who run a restaurant, what type of restaurant is yours? And what type of ambiance does it offer? What do you think your customers appreciate the most about it? Well, I'm not a restaurant owner, so I can't really say exactly what type of restaurant I have, but I can tell you if I was a restaurant owner or restaurateur, I would want a Caribbean restaurant for me. Yeah. So the type of restaurant I want is a Caribbean kind of casual dining restaurant. I don't want anything too formal. Come in and get some good Caribbean food, relax in a casual atmosphere. It could be even a bar themed restaurant. It doesn't have to be like tables and chairs. You can sit at a bar, you can have a drink, you have your food. That's the kind of restaurant I want, something more casual atmosphere. Yeah, casual ambiance. So I think my customers would appreciate the Caribbean theme, the Caribbean flavors, the spices, the way how we cook food. I think they will appreciate the style of the food, the cuisine. And also I think they'll appreciate the atmosphere as well, something more tropical. People in Europe always want, well, not everyone, but majority of Europeans want to have a tropical feeling. They want to be in the sun, they want to be by the sea. And of course, my restaurant will hopefully be by the sea as well, because in the Caribbean, we love the sea. So in this case, I would have a Caribbean themed restaurant by the sea. Yeah, cool. Forgive the light. The sun is coming through. Let me see if I can can change the direction of the camera. Yeah, cool. So that would be the type of restaurant that I would like to own. A Caribbean restaurant here in Italy by the sea, seafood, Caribbean dishes, and a nice casual, cool atmosphere is what I would love. Excellent. So let's move on. It's all about the ambiance. So look at these photos and let's answer the questions. So, what concept does this restaurant have? And this restaurant offers its customers what? So we have to look at these pictures and determine what type of restaurant or concept of the restaurant it is, and then what they offer customers. So when I look at this particular restaurant, it's a more, it's kind of a chic, kind of modern kind of restaurant. It's not too formal, it's not too casual. It's like a very modern kind of chic restaurant for young people, basically. It's more trendy. It's like a trendy restaurant. Yeah. So I think the concept is more trendy rather than too casual or too formal. And I think this restaurant offers its customers a very semi-formal kind of dining experience. So again, not too casual, not too formal, very trendy. You see, you look at the lights, the type of lights, very artistic, kind of trendy kind of layout and decor, very comfortable seating, but mainly it's a trendy restaurant. They're offering their customers maybe more simple dishes, not too sophisticated. Maybe they offer steak, maybe burgers and fries, um, maybe pasta, those kind of things they offer, rather than the very exquisite and sophisticated kind of dishes that you spend thousands of dollars for or hundreds of dollars for. So this is a more trendy restaurant, not too casual, not too formal. Alrighty, so it's a kind of in this case, they say it's a bistro styled restaurant. And I know in a lot of in many countries, they have bistro style restaurants. A bistro normally is not a full restaurant, basically, but it's more like a original origins like Parisian, meaning from Paris. Yeah, France. Very small, calm, cozy restaurants, not too big, very cozy and comfortable, home-like, and they usually serve moderately. The prices aren't very expensive. They're very affordable or reasonable. With simple meals, as I mentioned, like burgers and fries, or maybe steak, maybe ribs, barbecue ribs, etc. So those are a little simpler than the more sophisticated formal dining settings. And they usually offer a setting for alcohol as well. So maybe there's a bar as well, separate from the dining area as well. So it's like a bistro, a small little restaurant, not serving fully like a big formal restaurant, but of course offering more simple meals and alcohol as well. Good, excellent. So that's what they're offering. So they're offering accent lighting, as I mentioned with the lighting. It's a very trendy, minimal table settings and a relaxed dress code. So it's not too formal and it's not too casual as well. So it's just right for me. I prefer these types of restaurants, these bistros. Yeah, I love them. Alrighty, so now let's continue. So let's look at this picture. So this is quite different from the bistro. So what kind of concept does this restaurant have? So here we have the table, the napkins in a very specific design on the plates. Everything is put in the correct order, white tablecloth, a flower centerpiece. We have wine glasses and water glasses, very sophisticated and more formal. So I would say this is a more formal dining concept, a more sophisticated dining experience. So let's see what they say. So here you have to fill it in. So it's a more formal dining restaurant, I would say. Let's see what else they might have said. Okay, cool. So yeah, for me, a more formal dining experience rather than a bistro or a more casual dining experience. It's more formal. Maybe for that special occasion, maybe like a birthday, a wedding, maybe something very sophisticated and elegant. So this restaurant, for me, offers its customers a more formal dining experience with specific and more sophisticated and complicated dishes that could be a little more expensive. So you know you're going to be paying a lot of money to dine in this restaurant. So yeah, they'll be offering an ambiance, very formal atmosphere with maybe sometimes you get a piano player, maybe a little bit of jazz music, very subtle music as well. And of course, maybe three-course meals. You have like in English, we use We have the entree, we have the first course, second course, third course, whatever, dessert. So these types of restaurants offer courses, basically, just like how you do in Italian for the antipasti, the primi, the secondi. So it's like similar to that, but a more formal setting. While in the bistros and in the more casual dining restaurants, they don't really offer courses. You usually have a set menu that you can order anything you want without it having to be a course, a meal course, or a course meal. Good. So what are they offering restaurant customers? They're offering natural lighting. Yeah, you see it's more natural, the sun, a formal table setting, and of course, an elegant dress code. So when you're coming to this restaurant, you can't dress just anyway. You have to dress more formal, maybe a suit and tie, or maybe a shirt and tie, or maybe a nice dress shirt and a pants and shoes. On the other hand, a bistro would be more semi-formal, maybe jeans and a nice shirt and a pair of soft wears maybe. And a more casual dining experience would be that you can wear short pants and t-shirt, vest, whatever you want to wear in that more casual dining experience. So in this formal situation, more formal wear. Yeah, nice pants, dress pants, nice shirt, a dress pants, maybe a tie, maybe a suit, a jacket. It depends. And for the women, of course, a nice dress, a nice evening dress in that case. I'm only thinking about the men. So good. So that's the type of restaurant I see here. Now let's look at some of the vocabulary that can be associated with different types of restaurants. So we've got atmosphere vocabulary. Is each word part of table setting, dress code, or lighting? Is each for formal or informal dining? So we have to decide these words on the left if they are table setting, dress code, or lighting, or if it's for formal or informal dining. So let's look at these particular words. So we got dimly lit or soft, natural, casual, placemats, centerpieces, chandelier, formal, bright, stools, booths, black tie, tablecloth, and cloth napkin. So these are words associated with the different types of restaurants and, of course, with different types of settings within the restaurant. So let's look at dimly lit or soft. So dimly lit means not a lot of light. So there's not a lot of light, or soft. There's soft light, meaning the light is not bright. There's not too much light, but there's less light. So dimly lit would refer to lighting, and normally we find dimly lit restaurants to create a more comfortable and romantic atmosphere. So the less light, the more romantic and the more comfortable people tend to be. So that would be lighting. So L for lighting. So let's now look at natural. So natural, what does it refer to? It can mean many things. But in a restaurant, what would you call natural? What would you associate it with? Would you associate it with table setting, dress code, or lighting? Now, in this case, natural could mean the lighting. Yeah. So maybe the natural light would be the sun coming through the windows or coming through the restaurant. So that would be natural. Normally we say natural lighting, which is the sun from outside, rather than using the electrical lights. Yeah, the unnatural lights. So natural refers to lighting. So natural lighting. Now let's look at casual. So does it refer to table setting, dress code, or lighting? Which one? Casual. So casual refers to dress code specifically. So casual refers to the dress code, how you dress, yeah, what clothes you wear. So for example, in a casual dining restaurant, like maybe Burger King or McDonald's or uh, other fast food restaurants, you can wear casual clothing. You can wear a t-shirt, you can wear short pants, you can wear flip-flops or slippers. So Casual refers to the dress code, what you wear to the restaurant. Now let's look at placemats. What are placemats? So placemats are the like cloth. It's like cloth on the table for your plate, for your cutlery, for your glasses. Normally there are many shapes. So remember you have the tablecloth, which covers the entire table. And then for each person, there is a table, you call it a placemat, where you put your glasses, where you put your plates and your cutlery on. It's a piece of fabric that you put your cutlery and your plates and glasses on. They could be different, made of different materials. It could be plastic placemats, could be cloth placemats, could be bamboo placemats, could be made of different materials. But basically, they're supposed to prevent the tablecloth from being dirty, yeah, from eating. So those placemats would refer to what? Is it table setting, dress code, or lighting? Wonder what it is. So the placemats would refer to table setting. Yeah, so you put it on the table. So the way the table is organized is called the table setting. Yeah. Let's look at centerpieces. Now, what are centerpieces? Think of the word center and think of a table. Hmm. So the centerpieces are ornaments that go in the middle of the table to create a very nice atmosphere on the table. Sometimes they're flowers, like in this picture on the right. Sometimes they're candles. Sometimes they're different kind of arrangements. It depends, but normally it's to create a level of artistic or a level of some kind of decorative addition to the table. And normally it's at the center of the table. That's why you call them centerpieces, because they're usually in the center of the table. Great. So centerpieces would refer to what? Is it table setting, dress code, or lighting? If you guess correctly, it's table setting as well. Now, let's look at this next word. Now, some of you might not be familiar with this one. This is pronounced chandelier. Yeah, so I think Sia had a song called Chandelier. And a chandelier is a lighting piece. It's a light, but with a decorative creation around the lights. So it's usually made of crystal or glass. They're very decorative. They're called chandeliers that hang from the ceiling. So a chandelier in a restaurant, what would it be? Would it be table setting, dress code, or lighting? In this case, a chandelier, of course, is a light fixture or like a decorative light. So it is lighting. So a chandelier creates a very nice, sophisticated type of lighting for a restaurant, especially in a formal dining restaurant. Yeah. Now let's look at formal. Formal, is it table setting, dress code, or lighting? Formal. So before we had casual, which meant dress code, and of course there is formal dress code as well. Yeah, so formal could be a suit with a jacket and a tie and a dress pants, or it could be a shirt and tie with a dress pants. It depends. But normally formal would refer to maybe a suit for men and an evening dress for women. A very sophisticated, elegant dress for a woman would be formal. Now let's look at bright. Now, bright, what does bright mean? Bright means when there's intense light, there's a lot of light. So, bright is an adjective to describe an increase in light. Yeah. So, very illuminated is bright. It's an adjective. So, when we think of bright, we think of light. So, lighting would be the appropriate match for bright. Yeah. Let's look at stools. Now, now stools could mean more than one thing. So in this case, stools are chairs. For example, they're very high chairs and sometimes they don't have a back. So you see these chairs in the picture, they have a piece in the back to, keep you upright in the chair. But stools normally don't have a back and they're normally higher. You normally find the stools at the bar counter, at the bar. So stools in that sense means the high chairs without a back, maybe at the bar. And it could also mean something else. Stool can also mean human excrement. Yeah, the waste, the human waste, basically, can be called stool as well. But in this case, it's not that. In this case, it is a tall chair that you normally find at a bar setting. So in this case, what would it be? Stools. Would it be table setting, dress code, or lighting? Table setting, because a stool can be part of a bar, and a bar is usually like a table. It's a bar table, basically. So you find stools at a bar, and of course that is a table setting as well. You know, a bar table setting is different from a normal restaurant setting, table setting, but they're all table settings. Okay, let's look at booths. Booths. So what are booths? Now, when you go into many, for example, you go into a burger restaurant or a very casual dining restaurant, sometimes you find booths. And booths are an area, a table setting or area that is probably against the wall, but it has a high partition around the table to obviously prevent people from looking into or looking at your table. So it's like a divider or a partition to have a little more intimacy, a little more comfort and privacy. Usually is a booth. So they're very high partitions. Normally they're made up of you're made up of what you call them like benches, or I can't remember the name of them. But a booth is usually surrounded by a partition to create some level of privacy. So what would that be? Would that be table setting, a dress code, or lighting? My opinion, a booth or booths refer to table setting because again, it's a type of table setting. We have bar setting, bar table setting, normal restaurant table setting, and then we have a booth, yeah, which are different types of settings. Let's look at black tie, the black the black tie affair. So, a tie. A tie is what a man wears, a gentleman wears with a suit, or maybe you're going to work, he wears a tie on his shirt. So, a black tie, of course, is the color black, and normally a black tie is worn at very sophisticated and formal restaurants. Yeah. So, a black tie, what would that refer to? Would it refer to table setting, dress code, or lighting? Well, a black tie is a piece of clothing, yeah, clothing accessories, so it would be dress code. Yeah, cool. Now let's look at the last one. We've got tablecloth and cloth napkins. Tablecloth and cloth napkins. So remember I told you the tablecloth is what covers the table, is what protects the real table from food, from being scratched, from being messed up, from being messy or dirty. And remember, the cloth napkins are what you use to wipe your mouth and put into your lap to prevent the food from dirtying your clothes. Yeah? So, tablecloth and cloth napkins, what would that be part of? Would it be part of the table setting, part of the dress code, or part of the lighting? Which one is it? So, remember, it's on the table, so it's table setting. Cool. So we've got these particular words or vocabulary matching with particular situations. So remember, we've got dimly lit or soft associated with lighting, natural lighting, again, casual clothes, so dress code, placemats, table setting because they're on the table. Centerpieces are also on the table, so they're part of the table setting. A chandelier, remember, is a light fixture that hangs from the ceiling. It's a very decorative light. Usually that's found as lighting. That's associated with lighting. Formal would refer, of course, to the dress code, what you wear. Bright refers to light, lots of light. So you have bright lights. So that would associate with lighting. Stools would be the chairs, the high chairs on by the bar or at the bar. So that would be table setting. Booths will also be table setting. Remember, booths are an area of a table setting or an area that has a partition that creates a level of privacy and intimacy. Black tie, of course, is a clothing accessory you wear to a restaurant, especially in a formal restaurant. So uh, that would be dress code. And then tablecloth and cloth napkins, they're on the table. Remember, the tablecloth protects the table, and the cloth napkins protect your clothes from being dirty, and that will be table setting. Excellent. So we learned about these types of vocabulary and what they mean and what they're associated with. Now let's look at this particular vocabulary again, and let's decide if it's formal or informal dining. So dimly lit soft lighting is usually associated with formal dining. More intimate, more sophisticated, elegant setting, we have less light or soft light or dim light, yeah, which would be less light. Let's look at natural. Natural light can also be found in a formal setting or an informal dining setting as well, in both. Yeah. Casual, of course, for informal dining. You can wear what you want. You can wear a shirt, t-shirt, you can wear flip-flops, you can wear short pants, it's up to you. So casual would be for more informal dining. Placemats, usually placemats are for both informal and formal. At a formal dining restaurant, you have mostly cloth, very decorative cloth placemats. Maybe in a casual dining or informal dining restaurant, you have paper placemats made of paper. You know, like some burger joints or some burger restaurants. You go and they give you a paper placemat that you can throw away after. So they can be used for both, but it depends on what type of uh, placemat they are. So let's look at centerpieces. So normally centerpieces can be found more for formal dining because you want to create a more sophisticated atmosphere, elegant atmosphere. You'll put a bouquet of flowers in the middle of the table to make it more formal and elegant. Sometimes in informal dining restaurants, you'll find centerpieces. Mainly they're just maybe artificial plants or maybe a candle or maybe or even maybe condiments like the ketchup and the soy sauce and the olive oil and whatever. That can be a centerpiece as well. But generally, for the formal dining, they use more elaborate centerpieces like flowers and more decorative items. So let's look at chandeliers. So chandeliers are usually found in more formal settings, very sophisticated, made of crystal, made of glass. More formal dining restaurants, you find the chandelier. Formal, of course, formal dining. You wear formal clothes to a formal dining restaurant. Bright light is usually found in the informal restaurants. Yeah. So they don't really care much about the light. They're just there to help you to eat. They just want you to eat. They don't pay a lot of attention to sophisticated lighting equipment, lighting fixtures or whatever. Sometimes they just use normal bright lights. You go and eat and you leave. But normally for the formal dining restaurants, you have dimly lit or soft, less light in the restaurant. Now, stools are normally found in bars, which are more informal types of restaurants or bars. You find stools in informal dining restaurants. Black tie, of course, is part of the formal wear, formal dress code, so it's associated with formal dining. And finally, tablecloths and cloth napkins. In this case, remember we have tablecloths that are made of cloth material, more sophisticated design, normally for formal dining settings. But in the more informal restaurants, you would find again maybe normal tissue, maybe normal napkins, like paper napkins, or the tablecloth there might not be a tablecloth. It might just be a table. So it's a difference between the formal and informal dining in this case as well. So you learned a lot about the different types of words we use to associate with either formal or informal dining. Excellent. So we've got one more to look at. Yeah, we're going to look at these different pictures and describe what type of restaurant it is and what it offers customers. So let's look at this one. So what concept does this restaurant have? So for me, I would say it's a bar-styled restaurant. It looks like a bar, and you see they have the stools. Those are the stools by the bar. So it's more associated or more used for drinking alcohol. Maybe there's some bar snacks, maybe some nuts, some chips, whatever, and have a beer or a glass of wine. So it's more of a bar-styled restaurant. Yeah. This restaurant offers its customer bright lighting. Yeah, see the lights are very bright. They're not dim, they're bright. They offer bar styled table settings or bar table settings. They offer a casual dress code. Yeah, so it's a bar. You can wear what you want. Good. Let's look at this one now. So this looks more, this looks more like a formal restaurant. So it's a formal dining restaurant. Yeah. So this restaurant offers relatively dim lighting. Uh, but you know what? Maybe this is more like a bistro because it's not very, very formal in this sense. So for me, it's a bistro styled restaurant because look at the table. So it has relatively okay dim lighting, but more trendy lighting, more so than dim. They have tables, but there are no tablecloths. There are no sophisticated napkins. There are no, I don't see any wine glasses per se, or a specific set of cutlery. They have a fork, they have a knife, and it looks as though they have a paper placemat. It's not cloth, it's not very sophisticated. So this is more of a bistro style restaurant offering trendy lighting, um, offering a more casual, a more bistro style table setting. And of course, they don't really have a big centerpiece. Mainly the centerpiece is a candle or yeah, fake candle maybe, but it's not very sophisticated. And the dress code here would be more informal dress. Could be casual, not too casual, but maybe semi-formal kind of dress. So this is a bistro styled restaurant. Let's look at this one. Now, this one is also interesting. It's kind of a, it looks like a bistro as well, but a more trendy kind of modern type of restaurant. They offer natural lighting in this case. The table settings are not very formal, so I would say that they don't have any centerpieces, so it's more casual or informal table setting. And of course, the dress code looks to me like very trendy. You dress trendy, maybe casual, but trendy casual, not too casual in this case. Yeah. Now, this one is to the other extreme. So it's a formal dining restaurant. So as you can see, there is a chandelier. So there is dim lighting, and there's a chandelier in the middle here, as you can see, more decorative light. The table setting is a more formal table setting. There is a tablecloth, as you can see. There's a centerpiece. I can't see very well, but there's a kind of Italian style centerpiece. You see the green, white, and red, the Italian colors there as well. It has a more formal, maybe more formal type of cutlery and plates and glasses, as well as very comfortable, elegant chairs as well. And the atmosphere is more formal. It's like in a very, how should I say, very architecturally or vintage architecture kind of atmosphere as well. And the dress code, of course, here would be formal dress code. So you see the differences between those three restaurants. The first two were kind of similar, but this one is more formal to the extreme. Yeah. So here we looked at the different types of atmospheres in relation or ambience in terms of restaurants. We have the bistro style, we have the casual or informal dining, we have the formal dining restaurants, and we looked at of the different types of vocabulary we use to associate with different aspects of a restaurant. We had the decor, in terms of the lighting, in terms of the, you can think of even of the music, the smells, the decorative centerpieces. It depends on the type of restaurant that you're going to or that you're actually running, and that attracts a certain type of people, maybe more casual, younger people for the bistro or the casual dining, and more mature people for the formal dining setting, or people that are a little more wealthier that can afford to go to these formal restaurants can go there. Or maybe you have a special occasion, a birthday, a wedding, something that's very important. Of course, they usually go to a formal dining restaurant. Remember, atmosphere, ambiance, environment is basically the same. They're synonyms to mean the same thing. Atmosphere, ambiance, and environment. So, guys, I hope you learned a lot today, and I'm happy to have shared, uh, some of my knowledge, vocabulary knowledge, knowledge about the restaurants, and I hope that you are improving your English at this time. Some of you have a lot more time on your hands, so you can study even more. But always remember to continue studying. Don't stop studying, because if you want to reach that level of fluency, you have to continue to practice and continue to study. So thanks again, guys, for joining me. And of course, stay tuned for more from My English School. See you later. Bye.